Good morning, guys. It is the beginning of the day, obviously, and I'm out here. I'm about to give these dogs one and two some water as I wait for this coffee to brew. I'm gonna sit right here in my kitchen. I'm gonna do my morning reading up until about 5:45, and then I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna do my treadmill walking and journaling until about 6:15, 6:30, and then we're gonna get on to the day. We're gonna send the morning emails. We're gonna send update emails, and we're gonna do the day. So stay tuned for a vlog today, because we're back on a schedule. It's not the schedule I wanted to be on, but we're back on a schedule. But stay tuned. Alright, ladies and gents, we're back here now. It is 5:46 a.m. I just got done reading. I have been reading Cold Calling Techniques by Stephen Schiffman. It's an older book. I have it in paper copy. I actually was given it by my dad, who also works in sales. He's retiring here soon, but he works in sales, and it's something that he read. He gave it to me years ago, and I have Kindle Unlimited now, so I read mostly on Kindle Unlimited. But it's just a great read. I always like reading about sales. I always like to refresh myself on techniques, tactics, wording, and just kind of how to format calls, emails, voicemails, and then I'll go into like social media selling, if that's a thing, or if I want to use it at all. But I like to learn, all different aspects of it, of sales, just to become better, because you never know what's going to work in sales. And there's a funny saying in sales that says, cold calling works 100% of the time, 90% of the time, or something like that. Or cold calling 1% of the time, it works 100%. So I just love to learn more about it. I'm infatuated with sales. I always want to get better at it. Obviously, with sales, it's kind of like a direct relationship. The better you are at selling, the more money that you make. So you want to learn as much as you possibly can about sales, so that you can continue to get better, so that your company can scale. And if you work for somebody, so you can make more money. It keeps people off your back. The better you are of a performer, the more money you're going to make, and you also get a little bit more credibility in the company and more authority. People might listen to you more. More people might want to talk to you. So there's really nothing that can be bad about becoming better at sales. So I'm always fascinated by learning more and becoming better at sales. But now I'm out here. I'm about to do my journaling and everything, my thought journaling for the morning. And like a week ago, I was telling you guys about my new routine that I was going to start, and I haven't started it yet. I have not been able to wake up at 3:30. This week I've actually been waking up later than I did last week, and it might be because of the change. So I need a little bit more discipline, because I wake up to my alarm and then I just snooze it. But this morning I was like, I'll just wake up at 5 and I'll go do my reading and everything, and I seem to get right out of bed, which isn't really, I wouldn't consider that to be discipline. I would consider me to enjoy reading in the morning and taking my silence in the morning, instead of going out here and working out and running and walking first thing in the morning. So I need a little bit more discipline, and I need to be able to get onto that. But I'm going to get to this journaling, and put all my thoughts out. I've had a really good week. I've had a really good last week. So I got to put my thoughts out. I want to be grateful for it. I want to think about it. And I haven't done any journaling since like last Friday. So I want to do this. I'll get in. I'll send my customers off my morning emails, and then I'm probably going to come right back out here and do a leg day. I've already got freight moving for the day. I've only got one load left to cover, and it's got a wide window, so I'm just going to come out here, work out, and then probably take my shower or something, or head inside and make my cold calls, and then we'll be started for the day and right on to the work. But stay tuned. Alright, y'all, we're back. The walk is coming to an end. It's been 1.5 miles. I journaled quite a bit. And I am about to go back into the office now, send out my morning emails, send off my update emails, start my new update chains. I'm not going to take you with me. Maddie's still asleep, or it's early in the morning when she's just waking up. So I can't really speak too much around her. So I will get back with you guys once I get back out here into the gym, because I'm sending all that off. I'm going to brush my teeth because it's already too late in the morning. It's already too late in the morning. Throw in a piece of gum, come out here, and I'm going to do my workout in the gym out here. And then, you know, from there, we'll be back on here. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? We're back. It is 7:55 a.m. I have sent off all my morning emails. I've got my last load out for the day to get covered. And then from there, I am heating up some breakfast right now. So I'm actually going to do things in a little bit of a different order. So I want to get this last load covered first and foremost. I'd like to get everybody on tracking. I'd like to just get everything rolling for the day, just to know that it's going to be all covered. I'm going to eat this breakfast while I do that, which is just breakfast rice. If you guys want to know more about my breakfast rice, you can actually ask. It's easy. It's rice, it's breakfast sausage, and it's a few eggs. I made it yesterday, and then I always have some leftovers because I make like tons of it, just so I can snack on it throughout the day. Eat that, chew on a piece of gum. I'm gonna have to run to Target or somewhere to get like toothpaste, and I'll probably find some other things that I'm gonna end up needing. In the meantime, we're going to rearrange the office today. I kind of spoke about it a little bit yesterday. I don't know if yesterday's video is actually gonna get posted or not though, but I'm gonna rearrange the office just a tiny bit. I think that it could be set up better for filming, so I think I can optimize this space just a little bit more. And I'm going to work on that today at some point. So I'll put these dogs outside. I might do that first thing this morning before I even run into the store to grab the last few things that I need. My employee no longer works for me. That's a big update in this. You know, it just wasn't really necessary. It wasn't the right time to have an employee. Probably should have waited a little bit longer, just to kind of see how the year and everything turned out. But true reason behind letting him go is I kind of got scared. I didn't know if, you know, margin would go down, pay would go down in terms of like what I make. So, you know, I just kind of parted ways with him because that was my largest overhead. I don't really have a lot of overhead in the business. You know, most of it is like kind of taken out before I ever see it. But that was having an employee was my largest overhead, and then every other overhead is like, not that I get to just write it off, but it's like stuff that I already needed necessarily. So it's like, you know, buying my equipment was overhead. Like my office is here in my home, so that's technically overhead, but it's like I'm paying for it anyways. That was the only overhead that I could really do without and still keep the business going and running smoothly. And since it, you know, it's a good chunk of money, and there was just other ways that I could use that money to actually help and fuel growth. And probably also keep some of it in the bank just for like, you know, a rainy season or something like this. So that's kind of what happened there. But I'm going to eat this food. It just came out. I just microwaved this. So this is kind of what it looks like in a bowl. Focus. So I'm going to take some bites out of this. I'm going to probably throw in a stick of gum. I'm going to work on covering this last load for the day. And then I'll, of course, get my loads posted out for tomorrow that I don't have covered yet. Or I'll reach back out to the carriers who have run them in the past. Or I'll do both at one time. I'll rearrange this office, and then we'll probably run to Target and everything. We'll come back, we'll make our sales calls and all. We'll get into the gym for the day and do our leg day. And then from there, we're going to learn how to edit videos better, because I think that you guys deserve more clear content. I've been looking at these videos, and I've just kind of been disgusted. So I might have to buy a new camera. Or something, but I got to do something to make these videos come through more clearly. Obviously, it's the words that I say and, you know, the experiences that I'm trying to share, but, you know, it never hurts to have it look a little bit prettier. I'm not too great at editing. I never took like an editing class in college, so I don't know anything about editing. So I don't know if it starts with a camera or if it starts in the editing software or what to do, but I think I should get a new camera. I think I should potentially get a lens to it, just to try to give you some clear quality content. And I think that would be, you know, a big thing, because I want you guys to, you know, I want you guys to watch this, obviously, but I want you to learn from it. I want you to take from it the words and, you know, how I make these videos and everything, and the structure to them. You know, the structure might get better, but I want the video to actually come through as clear instead of what they do now. But, you know, stay tuned, guys. I appreciate it. And I will get back with you once I eat this food and get this load covered and I start rearranging the office. But this is what it kind of looks like right now. These are just like plastic cupboards and things I bought that were cheap. And then I've got Ruger's crate here, and then the desk. and then, you know, just like bookshelves and things. So what I'm thinking is putting the crate over here, moving these to the back here, and then having this set up to be more optimal for recording the daytime, so I can actually show you the behind the scenes and what I do each day better. But yeah, we'll kind of work from there, guys. Stay tuned. Alright, boys and girls, I wanted to talk to you about something that is oh so much fun in the world of transportation and freight, and it's called recovering a load. So basically, what this means is that you had one carrier assigned to the order, you did all the work already to negotiate a rate, you had them signed, they were going to make pickup, and then you call them the morning of, and they tell you, hey, sorry, we actually can't make it to your pickup, please recover this, and get somebody else to do it. So then you have to go through the entire process again. Now, in the world of transportation, logistics, and freight, if you were to do this to a carrier, there is something called a TONU, T-O-N-U. It stands for Truck Order Not Used, so it's an acronym. And basically, if you were to do this to a carrier, you would then have to pay them some set amount for their time, their fuel if they move to your pickup location, or anything. But in the world of freight brokerage, there is nothing that says that a carrier has any penalty should they do this to you. So if you do this to a carrier, you owe them somewhere between it's usually a negotiated rate, but it's somewhere between like $150, $250, sometimes as much as $500, depending on how much deadhead they've done to drive towards your pickup facility. But if a carrier does this back to you for any reason, like even if they wait until 3 p.m., your load picks up at 4 p.m. at the latest. If they wait until 3 p.m. and then say like, yep, can't make it actually, please recover it, there is no financial penalty to them. Now, I would like there to be personally because, it kind of puts carriers in, I don't want to say a power position too much, but, they can take advantage of a broker. They can book a load, and then they can sit there and they're allowed to look for another one if they want to, because there's nothing saying that that's not what they're doing, right? The only way that you're potentially super safe is if your load pays a ton, but then if your load also pays a ton, you could attract carriers to it who are maybe like 200, 300 miles out. And there is a big thing in this industry of, like lying, basically, and saying, we're closer than we really are, and we'll make your pickup on time. And then they turn out to not make your pickup on time, or they miss it, and you could roll a load, which is moving it to the next day. And they can really jeopardize your relationship. And when it comes to stuff like this, it's a big time waste. If you sat there and you negotiated a rate with a carrier, you told your customer X that this carrier was going to be there at a certain amount of time, and then it kind of makes you look foolish because all of a sudden it's like, yep, nope, they're actually not going to be there anymore. Sorry, we got to recover this, and I'll get you some information over here shortly about who it's going to be. So, there should be some type of penalty towards a carrier if they cancel an order on you, same day or last minute, the same way that if we were to cancel an order on them, there's a financial penalty on us to pay them. So I think that it should go both ways. I'm not a fan of the fact that they can cancel an order on us at any moment in time and it's completely okay. There should be some form of penalty or something. Or it should just be the opposite way, and you should be able to cancel an order on a carrier at any point in time. It should be equal both ways. Yes, they obviously have expenses and things, but time is expensive, and especially in terms of brokerage. That is like our asset. Other than knowledge, time is our asset. So we shouldn't get charged if we cancel on them, if we can't charge them for canceling on us. You see what I'm saying? Yes, it costs them real money to move their equipment towards the pickup facility or whatever, but it costs us real money in terms of time that we now have to recover because that time could be spent, making another sales call, gaining another load, or whatever. So they're costing us margin two ways when they cancel an order on us, whereas we're costing them margin pretty much two ways because they have to go out and search for another shipment as well. So if it's equal on both ends, which it is, it should be, the punishment should be equal. So I think that is a big thing in brokerage that really needs to change. I think it's something in transportation that needs to change. Obviously, you're not going to get carriers who want to agree with that, and they have the equipment and everything, so they kind of do get some say to it. But you know, if enough brokers just pile together and say we're now going to be charging BONUs, brokerage order not used, or like a LONU, like a load order not used, load tender not used, a LATUNU, you know, they could get charged for it. And nobody wants to be the one who like leads the charge on that, because nobody wants carriers to hate them. Everybody with brokerage needs trucks, needs carriers to pick up their freight. So no one wants to be the one that's kind of on the forefront of leading it. But it is something that should be, it is necessary in the industry, because it is a bigger problem than you would think. Because there are carriers out there who just simply don't keep their word. But just wanted to get on here and tell you about that, because these are things that if you want to get into freight brokerage, you're gonna have to look forward to. But I will hop back on here in a little bit. I gotta recover this load and cover the other one. Alright guys, we're back. I covered the last two loads. I recovered one and then covered the other one. I took losses on both of them, so I lost about $175 overall. That's okay. I made more than that on one other load today, and I still had another like 8 running. So I'm not too terribly worried about the losses, just because they can be made up rather quickly when it comes to the wins. I rearranged the office like I said I was going to as well. So I put Ruger's crate over here. I moved my clothing stuff to right there, although I do think I have the space where I could actually just line it up right next to the door here. So I might do that and just turn the shredder sideways and just have everything on one level, because I think that'll work. But I think this is better because I have the taller standing tripod here, and I could just record myself and just speak with you. So I think this will work out pretty well. The last time that I had this set up, it was actually set up differently with the desk and the opening here. So this is actually, I think this is more space than I've ever had before in here, which is good because I like space. And I'm perfectly fine with it. But now I've covered all the freight, guys. So that portion of the day is done. Now I just have to send the tracking updates and all of that to my customers and all. But for the rest of the day, I've got a few things planned. I've got to make my cold calls, obviously. I don't really have too many emails to send off today. I would imagine that they're somewhere in the daily tasks of today. And then, according to my to-do list that I made, I want to get out into the gym, right? I want to go to the store. I've got to edit videos, and then I've got to pre-book my freight for tomorrow. Now, pre-booking is very important because you don't want to wait until last minute. Like, recoveries always cost you a lot more money. So you don't want to wait until the last minute to cover your freight anyways. You'd like to get it taken care of the day before, day prior, and just make sure that everything is done and scheduled ahead of time so that you can focus your energy on selling. That's the big thing that you want to do. You want to focus on taking care of your current customers. You want to focus on gaining more customers. That's the that should always be the goal when it comes to freight logistics sales and freight brokerage. So it's 9:16 a.m. You know, the freight's taken care of for the day. I'm going to worry about freight for tomorrow. I'm going to get that posted out, but I'm going to start on cold calls now. And that way everything's done, you know, brokerage-wise. Everything's handled brokerage-wise. And then we can just get on to the rest of the day where, you know, we're business owners here. You know, nobody's standing over our shoulder. As long as the work is done, you can go do whatever you want to do. And from there, you know, I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna get some toothpaste. I'm gonna buy some different gum. I'm chewing on extra spearmint. I love gum. Gum's probably one of my biggest obsessions I've always had in life. But I want to get some other flavors. I've got the spearmint. I want to get juicy fruit or something like that from Wrigley's. And you know, just some other snacks to have around the house. I'm not really sure, but I want to get some more energy drinks or something to pile up in the other room to give everything a try. And then from there find some flavors that I really enjoy. But yeah, that's what's going on for right now, and I'll holler back at you here in a minute. Alright guys, we're back again. I have posted out tomorrow's freight. I've got one covered. I've got the second one basically covered now. So pretty much it's 10:12 a.m. I only have one load left to cover for tomorrow, which of course I'll get it taken care of regardless. I don't even know if it really needs to get covered because the receiver had said that they didn't want it to come in just yet because they don't like to take inventory of things too early and just have it sitting on their floor. So I'll have to check back with them pretty early on. So I think this might be my last order that I actually have to get covered for tomorrow, and then I'll start working on like Friday's order, which delivers on Monday. And then I'll start working on Monday's freight on Friday. But you know, for the most part, this is kind of how you want things to go. You want to be set and covered prior to anything ever happening, so that you can just focus on recovering freight or focus on winning new freight for the day, which is called, you know, it can call a same day. It used to be called a can get at an old company that I worked for, and I'm sure at plenty of companies. I just covered the second one here, so you know. It's not a difficult job being a freight broker. The hardest part is getting shippers to talk to you. Once shippers talk to you and you can actually build a use case for yourself, you know, things aren't as difficult from there. Everything kind of turns out to be pretty easy, I would say. So you know, you can make a whole bunch of money working in this industry. You know, the sooner that you begin, the better. That's what I would say. That way you can at least cut your teeth, especially if you like live at home or you don't have any previous experience in the industry. You know, it's always good to start somewhere. It's a great industry to get into. Freight is, I mean, as long as the economy is moving, as long as money is being spent, there's always going to be freight moving. So there's always customers. Even in down economies, you know, there are industries that survive, and all you have to do is go find those and work in those. The economy is technically down right now, at least from, you know, the indicators that we look at, we see in terms of being in freight transportation. But we see the entire economy. We feel it first. If the economy is actually down, truckload slows, LTL slows, the movement of freight will slow because purchase orders are not being made. So we feel it in real time. But as long as you continue to be on the grind of selling, acquiring new customers, treating your current customers correctly, even in down markets, you know, you're going to end up in a great spot. And, you know, I'm not too terribly worried about the future, because in the future, you know, the economy will boost. And when that happens, you know, it's only going to be beneficial to me. So I am in the correct industry for me. Some things that you'll like about this industry if you actually get into it. You know, things are always different. There's always something you can be doing. An example that I'll give is that, you know, you come into the office first thing in the morning, you might not want to make a sales call, but you can call a carrier. You can call different carrier partners to see if they run in your areas that you run, and just, you know, make a use case for yourself. You can build yourself a network. And then when you reach out to prospects, you can say like, yeah, I've got carriers who like to run this specific lane. They like to go to this area from this area, and, you know, I just wanted to see if you had anything like that. And you can really make it just far more relaxed. And then, of course, you know, making sales calls is fun. You know, there's always something different. There's a new problem to be solved everywhere. And there's always going to be problems. Even if the problem's not today, the problem might be in a month, might be in 3 months, might be in a year. And, you know, people who need transportation services, for the most part, they're not rude to you. They just say, like, yeah, we have no need for this. And you can just go like, okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Is there any way that I could just send my information over in the event that you do need something like me? And they'll be like, yeah or no, or just like, you know, call us back in like 3-6 months, whatever. Because they do utilize your services, they just don't need you at the moment. So, you know, these are just the things that you kind of have to like think about as time goes on. There's nothing that's going to tear you down. There's nothing that's really going to hurt your heart that much. But it's all fun things. But my freight's taken care of for tomorrow. So now I'm focused on, you know, sending updates for today's orders. I'll get all this information over to the people that, you know, need it tomorrow. And then from there, you know, I'm pretty much focused on selling for the rest of the day. And then just like keeping updates going. And then from there, you know, I might have some freight to quote out later or something like that, which I can do from my phone, which is very nice. So if I wanted to, I could go to the gym because I know all of this is taken care of. And I can watch tracking links from my phone. I can still send updates from my phone, and once the selling is done, you know, there's not too much to worry about at that point, as long as everybody's doing their job. The big thing is that if, you know, somebody's rolling to a pickup, and they drill a curb or something like that, those are the bigger things. But yeah, I'm moving on to selling now, and from here, so I'm gonna sell, and then the day will be done. Do we need to tarp it? But that's it. That's everything, you know? So I'm just going to move on to sales now, and then I'm going to run to the store and all of that, but I've already covered my freight. So I'm going to move on to my cold calls. I'll go to the store after that. I'll come back. I'll hit the gym. You know, I've already pre-booked freight, so that's great. So, you know, I don't have too many things left to do today other than, you know, cold calls, make sure I get out into the gym, go to the store, and then of course I want to edit these videos because I want to make it more appealing to watch. I have a microphone. I don't quite know how to use it, but I'm going to learn how to use it because I think the audio on this sucks just from watching back some of my videos. So I'm either going to learn how to use a microphone, or I'm going to use my AirPods and just like voice record as well, so I can get some better audio in here for you guys. But yeah, stay tuned. Alright, y'all, we're back. Got everything taken care of in terms of cold calls, sales. It's all done, and it's 11:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So everything is completely pretty much done for the day because I've got my freight for today all taken care of, tracking updates are sent, and I've got the email chain started. I've checked on every single driver. They're all going to make it on time. And then I covered all my freight for tomorrow, and then I did all my sales already. So, you know, the next things on the schedule are basically I want to add some things. I want to add some chores around the house, but I still have to go to the store. I just want to get like more gum. I want juicy fruit, man. I want juicy fruit so bad. I got to get out into the gym, and then of course I got to schedule, edit and schedule my next YouTube videos that are going out, just so I can get that all shared with you. And then I just want to do some chores around the house, you know, get it all cleaned up around here. You know, it's pretty cool when you just kind of, you know, work on your own schedule. You got things done. The money's already made. You don't have to kind of stress so much, if that's the proper word. Yeah, you don't have to stress so much, so it's not too much of a worry about if things are done. You know that you've already got everything done, and then you kind of find things to fill your time that are useful. I want to get better at editing these videos, as I mentioned earlier, so I might get a better camera. I've watched a couple back, and it seems like the audio quality is pretty crappy, so I'm gonna learn how to use this mic on this other camera, and try and get those things in there for you guys. Just so that way it's easier consumable to watch and listen to the things that I have to say, because I do think that they're valuable, or else I wouldn't be talking about them. So I'm going to learn how to do all these things, guys, try and get you guys some better quality content here, and hopefully you guys can get the value out of it. But this is pretty much everything I'm doing for today. I might bring you back on here just to see a little bit in the gym, but other than that, guys, it's been a good day. You know, this is a Wednesday. Everything's done pretty quickly. So maybe I'll take you along to the store, maybe I'll take you out to the gym, and then maybe I'll show you me doing some chores around the house. But other than that, we'll leave you guys with some sleeping dogs. Look at that. Look at that. Butters. Out. Cool, guys. Back again, guys. It's closing in on 1 p.m. It's a little bit afterwards after. It's a little bit afterwards. It's 1:09. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head over to the store, so I might take y'all with me if I can. Let's see what the battery life's looking like. So I might take y'all with me. And kind of what I would like to do, I want to get some gum, obviously. I want to get some gum, and then I'm just gonna look around this house. I really just want to get out of the house. You know, I spend all of my life in this house every day, all the time. So I really just want to get out of the house, and just kind of, you know, take a breather, you know. And one of the best places that I could go is just go walk around Target, maybe look at laptops if they even have any there, or unless they got all put away, if they got stolen. And I just really want to get out of the house, do something a little bit different for a little while. Maybe grab some food while I'm out. I don't really know what the heck I would get though. But just like get out of the house, get away from all the computers and all the work. And just kind of like be outside but away from the house. You know, I could always sit on my deck and just sit outside, but then I'm just sitting outside. I want to get out. I want to like move my legs, and then I'll come back. I'll do my editing of this video and everything, and then I'll get out into the gym closer towards like 2:30, 3 o'clock or so. Probably spend an hour and a half out there. Come back in. I'll do the dishes and everything that I wanted to do. I'll probably break down some of these boxes here that are taking up my dang living room. But that's kind of my plan for the rest of the day. I don't really have too much going on. My freight's already covered for tomorrow. And I've already made all the sales calls that need to be made. So because of that, you know, because I've set myself up, you know, now I'm kind of like bored is kind of what it is. And, you know, that comes with the territory. You kind of, unless you're super busy and everything, it kind of goes in waves. Because when you first start, you know, you're free, you enjoy it. You're like, wow, I don't have anything to do, and it's so peaceful. And then you start making yourself busy because you need to make an income. So you need to make money. So you make yourself incredibly busy, reaching out to new prospects, you know, landing new business. Everything's fresh and new. So you make yourself incredibly busy, and then you get incredibly busy, and then you kind of adjust to it, and you really kind of learn how to, you adapt, and you learn how to manage it all, and, you know, whatever amount of time that you want to allot for working. And because of that, you get back to the space where you go like, oh, I'm kind of bored, but, you know, now the bills are covered, and now I have, you know, a little bit of excess money, and I want to keep growing and scaling, but you don't have to go at this like lightning fast pace anymore. And, you know, it kind of changes everything that you do in the day. But that's kind of where I'm at right now, where it's like I've got things that are already, like I've got seeds that are planted, just waiting for the growth. And, you know, I'm just kind of like waiting and waiting and waiting. You know, I've added 2 new customers this week, or I've added another new customer this week, and another one coming. And so it's just like things are still trickling in from, you know, calls that I've made, connections that I've made, you know, weeks or months ago. And, you know, I continue to make new ones every single day. That's the whole purpose of the game. But it's like a, you know, you've already got this, so you don't have to kill yourself with all the output that you have to put in. So, you know, now I'm just going to take my time. I'm going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to walk around for a little bit. I'm just going to get some fresh air, move my legs, and just see new scenery than, you know, staring at my screens or, you know, staring at my backyard or whatever. So I'm going to put these dogs away. Well, I'm probably going to leave them out, but I'm going to put the dogs away. I'm going to go to the store, and then I'll see you guys when I get back. What's up, guys? Alright, we're on the way to the store now. I'm just gonna head over to Target and just kind of have myself a day. I just got off the phone with an old buddy of mine. He was just calling me to speak about like what I'm doing in life now. So we talked for a couple of minutes before I left, so it's about 1:30 now. All my freight and everything is taken care of for the day. I'm gonna turn this down before I get freaking shut down somehow. All the freight's taken care of for the day. The last driver's about to pull on site. So, you know, it's 1:30, so I'm pretty much free to do whatever I want now because everything's taken care of for tomorrow as well. I've already sent all the update emails. So basically I'm allowed to do just whatever I want for the rest of the day. And by allowed, I mean I could have done it wherever. I could do whatever I want anyways. But now it's like I'm legitimately free because everything's picked up, so all I have to do is just send update emails. And you can do those right from I can do those right from my phone at least. So now I'm just gonna head over here to Target. I'm just gonna walk around for a little bit, just see if there's anything that I'm interested in, see if there's anything that I want. Might pick up some food while I'm over here. Maddie's supposed to be cooking some really good dinner tonight, so I'm looking forward to that too, but I might pick up a little bit of lunch or something, just to, you know, celebrate a good week. Wow, I could have gone right there. That's actually kind of frustrating. But I definitely want gum. I'm gonna spoil myself with some gum. I think I deserve it. You know, I've worked my absolute butt off all year to get into a position where, you know, my business has done 7 figures plus. I'm gonna end the year pretty close to multi 7 figures. I'm gonna close the year closer to multi 7 figures than I am closing it to 7 figures. So I've worked pretty dang hard, and I still continue to work pretty dang hard all day, every day, to make sure that I don't lose it or fall off. So because of that, you know, I'm gonna start treating myself like I should. You know, I'm not gonna start taking private jets or flying first class or anything like that. I don't need anything to be too obvious. I don't need to you know, waste money for any reason. But will I take a private jet one day? Maybe. Who knows? But I'm just gonna continue to focus on, you know, doing the right things, putting the right pieces in place to continue to grow and to continue to be able to do this every single day for the rest of my life, and to continue to scale this business. I think if I do that, and I continue to do what I'm doing right now, and then add more people, create better processes, create better systems, and then add more people to the mix, I think that I could scale this business to just 9 figures, 10 figures, and then potentially, you know, if I wanted to exit it someday, I probably could, but I don't really plan on doing that. Right now, I'm just having a lot of fun doing what I'm doing, and I want to keep on doing what I'm doing. So that's the plan for here and for now, and that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm pulling into Target now. You'll see the sign in the background here in just a second. Probably see it right there. Boom. There, you can see it out here. Boom. I don't know what the heck's going on here. I don't know why we're all sitting, but everybody's got stop signs for some reason. No one's moving. What are we doing? But yeah, so I'm gonna go in here. I'll buy some gum. I'll show you guys what I get. I might get more than gum. Who knows? Here's something about me. When you guys go out grocery shopping or just shopping in general, I always park my car where one side of it is right next to one of these like cart retrieval things, and it's just so that people can't dig my car up on 2 sides. You know, a lot of people are probably scared of these things just in case there's wind or, you know, whatever. But I love parking next to these things so that no one can bother me on this side. They would have to come to that side to bother me, and you know, that can't bother me that much. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna head in here real quick, and then I'll be right back out. All right, what's up, guys? We are back again. I just got out of Target. I spent probably 20 minutes in there or so. I just walked around. I FaceTimed Maddie for a second there, and decided that, you know, I was just gonna FaceTime her and show her what I was buying, and I bought her a little cute Christmas mug, which I'll show you back when we get home. I got myself 3 packs of different tasting gums, flavored gums, multi-packs, and then I got myself one of these Ghost energy drinks. I've started drinking these energy drinks a little bit more now. I'm trying to I don't want to wean myself off of coffee, but I want to, how do I say this? What's the right words for this? I want to drink less and less coffee as time goes on, because coffee stains your teeth. Hang on. I gotta make sure I don't get in an accident here while we're turning here. There's a giant truck right next to me. I just had a carrier call me. I apparently sent them to an incorrect address. It was different from rate confirmation to BOL. But, you know, things like this happen. Everybody understands that they happen. This carrier's probably, you know, they were probably worried about something. They were probably not going to charge me an extra stop-off charge, just because, you know, they missed the delivery time by a long while today. But you know, I don't have any problems taking care of them. They take care of me. You know, they don't lose me any money on this load. They don't make me any money on the lane, but they don't lose me any money on it, and they run it every time that I have it. So I like them. I like the particular dispatcher who just called me just to confirm that he could go to a different address, and I just told him that I would send him a new rate confirmation. But back to what I got at the store. You know, I got this Ghost Energy, which is orange creamsicle, which I want to try. But I'm trying to wean myself off of coffee because it stains your teeth just by drinking it. And now, energy drinks, because they're so acidic, they will also, they don't stain your teeth, but they like melt away the enamel off of the front of your teeth, so your enamel is what's white anyways. So you can kind of bypass it both ways, where you can drink coffee with a straw and it won't stain your teeth, just because the black darkness won't get on them. Or you can drink this with a straw and it won't melt the enamel away, just because it'll go straight down your throat instead of hitting your teeth. My only thing is that I don't like drinking coffee through a straw. I like hot coffee. I don't like drinking iced coffee, so I don't like drinking coffee through a straw. I only drink my coffee black, so that's something else as well. But mostly I drink it hot, and I'm not gonna freaking just put hot ass coffee straight down my throat through a straw. That's just gross. I've never drank any hot drink through a straw, and I don't plan on starting now. At least this is like room temperature, or you can drink it cold, so I can put a straw in it if I want to. But for the most part, at this moment, I'm just trying to find if I like any energy drinks to see if I really do want to wean myself off of coffee or not. Overall, I still think coffee's probably healthier. It does have like, I don't know if it's nutritional value to it, but it has like, okay, I can't even turn because you decided to be so slow, you fucking jackass. But it's definitely got like antioxidants and things in it that help you out. This is just caffeine spike, which, you know, caffeine's great and all. It's great for focus. But I don't know if I really want to have giant caffeine spikes throughout the day. I would rather drink my caffeine in the morning. So if I drank one of these in the morning, opposed to, you know, what is 2 p.m. right now when I'm going to drink it when I get in this house, you know, I might be okay with that. But there's something about coffee that I also enjoy the warmth in the morning. It also heats my body up. So I'm kind of debating on if I want to wean myself off of coffee and start energy drinks, or if I just want to stick with coffee and ditch the energy drinks again, because that's what I've always done. So I guess we'll find out. But I'm about to pull into the house now, guys, and then I will take you in and I will show you what I just got on this Target run. Just to get out of the house a little bit. I might just go sit on the deck for the rest of the day and work from out there. So we'll see how that goes as well. But actually, maybe I can keep you on here as I just back in. I forgot to get any food though. That sucks. That absolutely is terrible. I should have gotten food while I was out, and I forgot to do that. Oh. Alright. I'll talk to you once we get in here. Alright guys, so we're back here. So this is the Ghost that I got. Orange creamsicle. And I'm hoping that it's very good. So we'll give it a little taste test here. Bear with me. Bear with me. Give it the smell test. Smells like it would be pretty good. That's good stuff, guys. 0 sugar, 200 grams of caffeine, neuro factor, whatever that is. 100%, 4 daily vitamins. Carnitine, okay. I don't know what any of that crap is. But here's the gums that I got. So of course I got the juicy fruit, and then I got extra and extra, pink lemonade and sweet watermelon. We'll see how much I like all of those, and then of course what I went to the store for originally, which was toothpaste. And then I got Maddie a cute little coffee mug. But for the rest of the day, guys, I'm gonna drink this energy drink. I'm gonna put this gum in my office here, and I'm gonna open this door because my little puppy apparently wants to see me so bad. But I might sit outside and just hang out on the deck out here and just hang out with these little doggies here. And that guy out there. Hi, little guy. Hi. Hi. But yeah, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'm going to sit outside. I'll probably work from outside. I'll probably edit some videos or learn how to edit some videos from out there. And then that's how we'll keep it moving. But I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for following along. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, or dislike it if you wanted to. And we'll be back again for the next one.